How's it going? How's it going?
Good. How are you? This
Doing good
is
today. Doing good. How about you?
doing well. Doing well. We're joined by Eli Blakey. Eli, I've asked every student athlete so far from Western Michigan. First of all, congrats on reaching the title game. The RedHawks back in it once again. Just what's it mean to you, to your teammates, and how excited are you guys as you prepare to face off for another MAC title?
Extremely excited. I mean, everybody wants to go play in a championship and, being able to have the opportunity is a blessing. So everybody's going extremely hard as we can, giving it our all, like like it's expected.
If you have a question for Eli, please use the raise hand feature. We will first go to Zach Green. Zach, go ahead.
Hey Eli, congrats on an amazing season and making it back to Detroit. Obviously, this year's been a lot of ups and downs for the program, offense, defense, all around.
Mhm.
Starting off 0-3, then coming back, and then a little bit of a down, then back up again to make it back to Detroit.
Mhm.
First game versus Western Michigan definitely was a gritty one where the defense stepped up in the fourth quarter. You got a lot of pressure. How do you think, this defense is preparing for Brock Lowry again and his unique style of play?
I'm just kind of having a similar mindset. I mean, we always say here, like it depends on us. Like no matter who we play, all of our mistakes depend on us and how hard we go. So I think that's the mentality this week. Like we're gonna focus on ourselves each and every play, one play at a time, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and the first game, the defense was very opportunistic in the fourth quarter, getting some turnovers. How do
Mhm.
you think that plays a part in this game and, getting the ball back to Gakowski?
Turnovers are always extremely important. I mean, I don't know what the stats are with that, but I wouldn't be surprised if like the turnover margin, whoever has the most turnovers wins the game. But yeah, like that's always a huge mindset. How many turnovers we can get the ball back to our offense and let them have good field position.
Next, we'll go to Chris Vogt. Chris, microphone is open.
Hey Eli, look forward to covering you guys up in Detroit. Congrats. Hey, your experience in this game, how big is that to kind of use leadership wise with those who have not played in this type of game?
Right. So this is my third year. It's a blessing, of course. Last year actually I got hurt the first drive, didn't really get to play, but my first time I was a younger guy, being able to sit behind the vets and really learn. So now that I'm a vet, I can really help the guys understand these big moments you gotta treat like another game. We're gonna be playing at a bigger stadium, lights, camera, action, of course, but you just gotta be calm, cool, and collected. And that's what we've been focusing on this week is just treating like, one play at a time.
And what's driven the RedHawks this year? I mean, it's been one of those roller coaster years. I think everybody in the Max had that, but what's driven the RedHawks to get to this point?
I just think that we love each other off the field. We got each other's backs off the field, so that allows us, when we handle these crazy setbacks and crazy adversity, that nobody's pointing fingers. Everybody knows that we got that next play mentality. My slogan this year just kind of been all day. Like we're gonna keep going all day, and you never know what can happen.
I appreciate you, Eli.
Thank you.
Again, if you have a question for Eli, please use the raise hand feature. All right, Eli. If there's nothing further, we're gonna let you go. Best of luck to you and safe travels. We'll see you here in Detroit.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye. Yeah.
Next, I believe we'll be hearing from Thomas Gakowski, followed by Coach Martin. Thomas, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well. Uh, everyone, Thomas Gakowski, quarterback, Miami RedHawks. Thomas, I've been asking all the student athletes on the call today, just how excited are you to, not only be playing for a title, but now leading your team at the quarterback position? How pumped are you for that opportunity as well as your teammates to get back up here?
Most definitely. It's an amazing experience, amazing opportunity. Not a lot of people get this opportunity, and I'm very grateful for it. But going into that, just kind of like gathering the guys behind me and being very vocal this week on a very big opportunity ahead of us. And just once again, we're stoked. I'm not just stoked, the whole staff's stoked, and it's just going to be a great opportunity.
Thank you. First, we'll go to Chris Vogt. Chris, your microphone's open.
Hey, Thomas, congrats on the ride this year so far. Hey, man, how do you prepare for a game with the minimal amount of snaps this season?
That's a great question. How I prepare is first off, you don't want to make, obviously this is a big game. People see it as a big game and you want to minimize that and kind of make it as small as possible. You don't want to make the game something bigger than it is. For us, it's just another week of preparation. But yeah, like he said, I think just going into it, just kind of rallying the troops behind me and getting everyone on the same page and fine tuning these little details that we're gonna see in practice and just the same thing every week for me.
And then I guess the situation at hand, um, what's the focus for you as the leader of the offense?
The thing that's the focus of right now is, especially at this point in the week, just fine tuning those details that I talked about a little earlier, and kind of just making sure everyone's energized and ready, and we're all on the same page. I think right now we have a great opportunity to take advantage of this game, and but most of all, just making sure we're all together and we have the same common goal, and that has never been a problem for us in this program. But just get the guys ready and let's fine tune these details.
And then finally, can you comment on Western Michigan's defense, man?
Yeah. Obviously, we know they have a very physical defense. They got a good defensive line. Secondary's good. They got a very good linebackers. And yeah, I'm very excited and stoked to play a team that has talent. As a quarterback, you don't want to play a team that lacks anything. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to compete against some guys that play at a high level.
Thomas, appreciate you, man. We'll see you in Detroit.
Thank you, guys.
Next, we'll go to Luke West. No, we're not done yet, Thomas. Sorry, we got some other questions.
I
You're
apologize. I'm so
fine.
sorry.
You're fine. Luke West Poli, your microphone's up.
Hey, Thomas. Just obviously you had a good high school career and now just through a couple of games, what do you think have been the biggest differences for you just between the FBS level and you're only playing high school a couple years ago?
Most definitely. I'd say the biggest thing is the tempo of the game. The speed's different. Decisions have to be made a lot faster. That being said, play calls are a little more lengthier. There's more variables into what goes into a play call, more motioning and everything. And then the last thing I'd say is pre-snap and post-snap decisions are very vital, and just kind of keying in on post-snap decisions at the next level in college is very important, due to just rotation, spin, and what might happen after they disguise the defense.
And, coming from a championship program in high school, just what can you take away from that and having already played in big games like this?
Most definitely. I played my last high school game at Lucas Oil Stadium, and now that I look back at I'm very thankful and grateful for it. But I'm also thankful for it because it has put me in that position as if I'm going to be in this position this Saturday. So it's almost as if I've been there before, and kind of gives me a sense of what to expect with the crowd and the atmosphere and everything. But that being said, I think it was a great opportunity to play at that level in high school, and it's kind of transitioning and moving over to college. So very thankful for that.
Thanks, Thomas.
Okay, let's see. We got Zach Green. Zach, your microphone's open.
Hey, Thomas, congrats on making it to Detroit. Coming in late into the season, how vital has it been to have a guy on Cam Perry who can take any catch for a touchdown, and then also having someone who you can throw the ball up to in Cole Weaver, and he can make some insane high catches.
Most definitely. It's as a quarterback, I think it's the most relieving thing is when you are able to trust your wide receiving core with the football. And me, it makes my job a lot easier as well. Just putting the ball in a position where they're able to go up and make a play on the ball. But it also helps us spread the offense out a little bit more. When Cam starts getting a little more bracketed and double teamed, then that opens up other wide receivers that are going to be open across the field. And I think we're just managing well and spreading the ball out.
And then also with the limited amount of time you've had to play in actual games with them, how do you think, these couple weeks of preparation leading up to this moment has helped you in terms of like, timing routes and different cadences?
Most definitely. I think it's helped me a bunch. Obviously, it was a little bit of a change coming in, and throwing to guys that are a little quicker and have a little bit more of a agility aspect to them. But the thing I'd say has kind of made that process easy is the chemistry between us, and not just me and the receiving core, but me and the whole team. Being able to go home at the end of the day and chill with the guys, knowing that everything's all right and we got each other's back no matter what. I think that is the biggest thing that kind of transitioned to me being able to set up timing throws and routes in that variable and aspect.
And then one last thing, it's your second career college start. How excited are you to go play at Ford Field and hopefully lead this team to a victory?
I'm absolutely stoked. Not like I said earlier, not a lot of people get this opportunity, and I surely don't want to take it for granted. But with that being said, I'm very very stoked and to be put in this position at the end of the season where my body's healthy and I'm able to go out there and perform at a high level.
Any further questions for Thomas? All right, if there's nothing further, we're gonna let you go. Again, best of luck to you. Safe travels getting up here, and we'll see you at Ford Field.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Yep, thank you. Coming up next, we'll have head coach Miami RedHawks, Chuck Martin. Coach, how you doing?
Doing awesome. I'm talking to you guys.
Thanks for taking the time today. I know it's a busy time with getting ready for everything in the game, but Coach, an opening statement. This is a third consecutive year you're going to be playing in this game. What's it mean to you? What's it mean to your team? Just what you're building and have built there at Miami, and how excited you guys are to be back in this position.
Yeah, one, it's kind of what you live for. Everybody, there's 18 teams playing Saturday, and we're one of 18 teams. And then it's at Ford Field. We love, I mean, the venue, the excitement. It's not like any other game. So everybody's trying to get here. So one, we're just excited to play in the game. We're excited it's at Ford Field. It's an incredible venue. Then two, definitely thought we could do it this year. I certainly didn't think we would do it the way we did it. We lost 28 seniors. The last 2 years we were there, we had a very senior laden team. I think I'm bringing 100 some kids to the game. We've played in it 23, 24, 25. You'd think experience would be on our side. I think I got 5 kids that have played in the game on my whole roster right now. It's incredible that like there's no one on our offense that's going to take a snap that's set foot on the field any of the last 2 years. There's only 5 guys on my defense. So we lost 28 seniors. We knew, we brought in 40 new guys, 27 freshmen, 13 transfers. We've had more injuries than everybody has injuries. Everybody has attrition. Like we have had, there's guys that didn't even make it to the first game that we lost for the season that were going to be starters for us, and we just have had attrition after attrition and, start off 0-3 and then you get on a good roll and then you lose a gut wrenching game to OU where we had them with a couple minutes left and then they made the plays and won the game. It was just, and if you won that one, you're really, really sitting in unbelievable shape. And then obviously we don't coach or play very good against Toledo and they get after us. And then, now, yeah, 2 weeks left, you're still in it. We knew there was still a path there. We knew if all the good teams kept winning, we were going to be fine. But then you get down to your third quarterback who he wasn't even taking practice reps till week 10. I didn't, and I tell everybody like First two touchdowns last week, Braylon Isom catches touchdown passes from Thomas Gudkowski. If you'd have told me in January that would be the duo that in a win to get in game would be the duo. If you had told me 5 weeks ago that was a duo, I'd have laughed at you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that's our 13th quarterback, and our, Isom didn't play in a game till about week 7. And then we had some injuries, and we lost 3 wideouts, 2 for the season. Then we lost another wideout, and then now Braylon's playing, and he's catching back-to-back touchdowns in the first quarter. And Thomas Gukowski was standing there watching practice for 10 weeks, and he's throwing the touchdown. So, did I think we get here? Yes. The way we've gotten here has been pretty amazing. The kids and coaches, my assistant coach, have done an amazing job of keeping, we've been through a lot up and down, and at times we played really great football this year. At times we've been, and at times we've stunk up the joint, and we've always kind of bounced back and gotten better. And the amount of kids that have contributed this season, like the old everybody gets a World Series ring, like it just, if the players that actually have made a play at some point this season to help us win, the number is mind-boggling to me how many kids have done it. We had a walk-on linebacker, Brock Uline, last week, play the second most snaps on our defense. Like, he ain't played all year. And we're in a win to get in game. And next, you lose Corbin Handrew for the year, who's the heart and soul of our defense and our team and all league and everything. And you lose him for the year. And then you lose Malcolm. And next, we got to win the game. Brock's in there. Like, and you got to walk on, it's just so, and it just, everybody just keeps hanging in there, making plays. So it's been an amazing journey this year. It's been a lot of fun. We have a really fun group of kids. They love playing with each other. That's kind of the strength of our team. We can take some crap and we just kind of keep going because we like it. So it's been an amazing season for us.
Great. Again, if you have a question for Coach Martin, please use the raise hand feature. We will first go to Chris Vogt. Chris, go ahead when you're ready.
Coach, always appreciate you talking to us, man. Hey, you've been in this position before. This week of preparation, can you kind of take us through what the preparation is like for the Miami RedHawks for a week like this?
Yeah, just trying to do things, trying to get kids. And this has been a battle with my team all year long, like trying to not get caught up in the big picture. We've done that at times. Early in the year, going to Wisconsin, Rutgers, we weren't ready to go play big. We had so many new starters, and they wanted to win really bad, but they weren't ready to go to Wisconsin on a Friday night and handle the environment, And then we kind of learned and plotted away, and then it's like we get to OU and it's a raucous Tuesday night and a hostile. If you've ever been to OU, it's a great place to play. They yell and swear and cuss at you. It's like that sportsmanship statement that they read over the loudspeaker. I don't think anybody's really paying attention, but it's awesome. We love going there. Like, it's what it's supposed to be like when you're on the road. It's supposed to be, but we didn't handle it good as a team, and that's on me. Like, we got caught up in we had players getting into it with fans during the game. It was bizarre, but it was, and you lose a gut-wrenching close game. You're thinking, man, if we could just focus. So for us this week, it's a huge deal. It's the MAC championship. It's 1-9. There's been 9 champions Saturday night and 9 runners-up that are miserable, and can we just not have expectations? Can we not have a preconceived notion of how it should be? And can we handle Ford Field? Can we handle, it's going to be loud in there. It gets very loud in there. Can we handle that it's a championship game and that we're on ESPN on noon on a Saturday? So trying to just keep everything for us, when we have expectations, we haven't been very good this year. When we wanted the game to go a certain way, we haven't been very good this year. When we just kind of mucked along, and I say we're perfectly imperfect, when we allow ourselves to be imperfect, but just keeps playing and not worry about. So the last time we were in a different environment was OU, and we didn't handle it great that night. Even though we played a lot of good football, we lost a really good team by a heartbreaking loss. So we're trying to just get them mentally ready for this is going to be different, but just try to be ourselves and understand that we're still not a very experienced team. We're playing, a lot of guys weren't even playing early this year, are starting for us now. So we got to play hard and play as smart as we can. We're not a super smart football team because we got so many inexperienced guys playing. Experience makes you smart. So we're just trying to normalize everything, but get them ready to handle what I think our Friday walkthroughs will be cool, but they got to get some of the awe of this is where the Lions play. And this is, like this, it's an awesome venue, but it can also, if you're not used to that environment, it can take away and you lose your focus, and you better be focused on Western Michigan.
Yeah. Speaking of Western Michigan regular season, Western Michigan now, what is the difference?
I don't think there's much difference. They were really, really good the first time we played them. We fortunately came away. We were down 17-9 with 10:54 to go in the game. We got the ball backed up, and we put together a couple of drives and somehow eked out a victory. They're really, really, really good on defense. They have great personnel over there, and they're really well coached. They run their systems. They mix in their base and their pressures on all down and distances. They do a great job on third down. They're just, I mean, they've given up 300 yards only twice in league play in 8 games. That's, and they don't give up points. And then offensively, obviously, I've talked many times about Brock. Like Brock was our guy out of high school. We were trying to get him to commit, and then we kind of forced Indiana. So we thought, I don't know if he was going to commit. We thought we were going to get him to commit, but we kind of said like, hey, tell Indiana they better make. And then Indiana made a move and got him. And then obviously we had Gabrick, and he ends up at Western the portal. And I knew when he went to Western the portal, I'm like, they got a good one there because we love that kid. He's just competitive winner. So they're going to, they ran him a ton. They've run him a ton. The Buckley kid's healthier. The first time, and I don't know this for a fact. He just looked a little hobbled the first he played against us first time, but he didn't look his explosive self the last. I don't know if he had a lower body injury. I suspect he did. I told everybody in our things like he's not 100%. So he seems like he's 100% now. And then they throw the ball over your head, and they killed us on kickoff return the first time. They had 200 plus some yards on kickoff return. Almost cost us a game. So they're really good. I mean, they just come off beating Toledo after our game. They beat OU, they beat Central. Like they've definitely, they had one, late game loss to us where they lost by the skin of their teeth, or they'd be 8-0. So to me, they're really good back then. I think Buckley's healthier. I could be wrong. He maybe was never hurt, but we didn't feel like he was totally 100% we played him the first time. Um, I hope he's not totally 100% this time. Would be great too, but probably he looks pretty good right now. So he's a great player. So they do a great job. They're well coached, and they got really tons of twitchy athletes that know what they're doing, and they play really hard.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Zach Green. Zach, your microphone's open.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the season and getting back to Detroit, whether it was the way that you envisioned or not. I remember talking back months ago in Wisconsin, and you said, this team was really trying to find their identity, and the way they like to win. How do you think, they progressed over the season, wins, losses, and how they're, ready to go now for Detroit?
The biggest thing is we've really grown to be a team. They love playing for each other. They'll play like our shortcomings aren't because our kids won't play for each other, which gives us a chance every week. They're a really fun group to be around. They've taught me patience. I have no patience really, and really with anything or anyone. Um, but this group's taught me patience. I got a lot of young guys and inexperienced guys. And as we've had our attrition, it's like, can I really expect? What can I really in at times I haven't been great for the team because sometimes I have my expectations for what football should look like, and I'm not sure my guys could live up to those expectations, and not because they were incapable, just because they didn't have the experience. We're going in this game, and there's a lot of things you like to do, but we got a third game starting freshman quarterback. That's reality. That's not normal. Like if you'd have told me that Thomas Kikowski, we're going to get to the MAC championship game. Thomas Kikowski will start him like he's our third string. He doesn't even get practice reps. Like, what are you talking about? Like, so just taught me some patience that, okay, who do we have? We have great kids. They have talent. They play hard. Maybe I'd like to do these things, but maybe just let them do these things that they're good at and live with the results. And I probably spend more time with these guys managing their own expectations because they're young and they're hungry. They get too frustrated, they get too down, they get too upset. One of my running backs laughed at me. He's like, "Why? You're the calm, positive guy, and I've been here for 5 years, and you've never been calm or positive. You're not. That's not who you are." But I have all these young guys that I'm trying to bring that. Like, it's okay. We're gonna be. And I know that was really bad, but we're gonna be okay. So, we've really grown in a lot of areas, and it's been a really, really unique year. It's been a blast. And I'm always proud to get here because it's so hard to get here, but probably as proud of any group that's ever gotten this far into the season is what these kids have been able to accomplish, and how many kids had to contribute. 2 weeks ago against Buffalo, I got a kid running down kickoff, Nevers run down a kickoff, and he makes a tackle, and we got to win a big game at Buffalo to survive. And I'm like, my goodness, look at Vito running down there making a play. Like, that was I didn't think it'd be him in this moment, but it is him and he did it and I'm so proud of him. So many kids have stepped up. We play so many kids. It's the amount of kids that rotate through and partly because we have so many young guys, you don't want to play them for 70 snaps. They can't handle, what I mean? And Coach Breeken on defense done an amazing job of just how many guys they played on defense and how far they've come and they've kept us in just about every single, well, they have kept us in every game all year. So it's been hard to describe, but it's been a blast.
And how big of a weapon has Dom been this year, especially in the first game versus Western Michigan? Iced in the game late fourth quarter. He got all first team today, all MAC, and how has that helped this team?
He's
Crank
been
out.
amazing when you're a low scoring, in our league, if you look at the top teams, it's kind of been tight, low scoring games, right? If you look at Miami, Toledo, OU, Central, uh, Western, a lot of games, maybe low 20s, but even like 17-14, 14-13, a lot of very low scoring games. So now if you have a kid like Dom, again, if the game's going to be 60-50, the kicker's probably just kicking a bunch of extra points. But if you have low scoring games, field goals a lot of times decide them. And like you said, the first Western game, we had to settle for 2 field goals because they're stingy in the red zone and we didn't, we got the ball down there and we couldn't get it in because they're good and we weren't as good. But Dom kicked a couple field goals. He had 3 field goals in the first half. It was kind of frustrating, but as it turns out, we needed all 3 of those. And then like the kick you allude to, you're up 6 with a couple minutes left, and they got Brock Lowry, and you don't really want to give them the ball back with a chance for them to win. And Dom goes out there and kicks a 52-yarder and puts you up 9. And did the same thing at Buffalo. We have 2 scores at Buffalo, and he hits a 49-yarder to put up 3 and end the game. So if it is low scoring and a tight defensive game, obviously the whole special teams, but the field goal kicker could be the difference.
Next, we'll go to Luke Westpoli. Luke, your microphone's open.
Hey, Coach. Just now that you've had a couple of weeks for Thomas to practice, just what have you been focusing on? I know we talked a lot about the mental reps he got before he got to work with the ones, but what have been your kind of points of emphasis for him now that he's actually gotten to take the physical reps in practice?
Um, Part of it is us trying to figure out what he's good at. Like it's mind blowing. Like, you know, last week for Ball State, we had, your game plan and you think you have some good ideas and you don't even know your quarterback. It's week 12. You don't even know what this kid, what I mean? You know what he was in high school. There's a couple plays last week. You're like, okay, we definitely got to call that because that looks really good. And then like there's a couple other plays didn't even make it to the weekend. Like, yeah, that's not his deal. Like it's obviously not his deal. We rep the play Tuesday. We rep the play Wednesday. It looks like crap. So part of it is us figuring out what he's really good at and what he's comfortable with. And then part of it is just try and expose him to as much defense because this is so much different than high school. Like Western's first and second down defense is hard. They have their base, they have their base quarters. They play some quarter half. They play some man, but then they have all these different pressures. All right, and they bring pressures from all over, and they do a great job with it. And they're very random. They're not a team that you can say, well, in this situation, they're going to do this. That's why they're good. They're very random and they mix it up and you don't really know when. Well, if you have an experienced quarterback, there's a chance to maybe see him and react to him. If you have an inexperienced quarterback, we did. So we're mostly trying to get him ready for all of these looks that he's not used to being a high school quarterback. And then you get to third down, it's a completely different package on third down, and they've got all these different things in their exotic packages on third down, but then they play base on third down and try and expose him to everything to get him as prepared as you can get a third game starter to play in a huge football game. It's not the ideal situation. It's not, you'd certainly prefer. We had Gabbard here in this game last year. He'd been through about 100,000 football games. So, good, better, and different. You weren't worried that your quarterback wasn't going to be able to identify something out there and react to it and make a quick decision in the middle of play that can either help you win a game or lose a game.
Thanks, Coach.
We have any further questions for Coach Martin? Nope. One follow-up here from Zach. Zach, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just one more thing. In the game versus Western Michigan, the D line really wrecked them in the fourth quarter and got them away from their game plan. Getting Lowry outside of the pocket, getting him moving, stuff like that. How can this D line improve that to the full game? And obviously the pieces are there with Trick, Nasir Washington, those guys. But how can they really get pressure on Lowry the whole game and get them out of their game plan that they, want to get outside the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think you can get them out of their game plan because they're gonna do what they do. The one thing in the fourth quarter there that you alluded to, we got a lead and forced them where they had to throw the ball. So it's way different at that point in the game. Up until that point, you're not, unless you play ahead and not even the first half, because they're not going to get away from their game plan in the first half. They're still going to run their stuff. But that was a situation where we took a lead in the fourth quarter and they were getting short on time and they had to get to where we knew they couldn't really just run Brock all the way down the field or run Buckley down the field. They had to kind of open. That's what any defense wants to be, that's where their defense wants to get us in those pass only situations, and then they can really tee off and get after your quarterback. And we finally got, we got a lead in the fourth quarter, and we got a position where they kind of had to throw the ball to try to because of the clock to win the game, and then our guys could tee off. So hopefully we can get to that position again. I'm sure they're trying to do the same thing for us: is get a lead in the fourth quarter where the team doesn't have time to run their base offense, and they have to open it up, and you kind of know they're in 2-minute mode, and then if you have a good D line, which both of these teams do, both teams will be pinning their ears back, getting after it. We went through that. We got behind Toledo, and wasn't a lot of fun when Toledo knew we had to throw the football, and they can pin. So anytime you can do that, but you have to get to that situation. Otherwise, I don't think you'll get either team out of their game plan.